I wanted him to suffer. You know what I mean? So she says to me in front of him, she says, listen, the only way to remedy this is that if you rub fresh bird shit on that bark where he bit, his teeth will fall out.
Good evening and welcome to another episode of Dinner with Suhayl. Today, I have my good friend Alfred Adriaan and his wife Natalie.
Yes.
So welcome.
Thanks for having us.
This is it. This is just Dinner with Suhayl. That's literally it. It's eating, it's chatting, it's having a good time. How was your week?
Great. I just want to say that it is very rare that my wife attends these things.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Do you not like going out for dinner?
She doesn't know that. She
You don't like going to strangers' homes?
I'm
She
here
doesn't?
because of your wife.
doesn't.
Okay.
She says no to most interviews. She doesn't like.
You don't like tea. But you see, this is not
She
a real
doesn't
interview.
chase it.
This is literally just dinner.
Yeah.
What it's exactly what I said. That is what it is. It's dinner with Suhayl.
I'm just glad Suhayl is not the one cooking. It's the wife. Because if I was cooking here, my friend,
Wait, are you not a cook?
I can do something, but I wouldn't call myself a cook. You know?
Like,
I
okay,
can
you can
feed-
survive.
Yeah, no, I can make a couple of decent meals. But I'm not.
When you say decent meals, what is it? What is?
I can make a stew.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
And things like that, but I can't delicate things. I
can't
can
do
make
that.
a fish, but that's as delicate as it gets.
You can make a fish.
I mean, not
No, I
creative,
mean like.
but
you can-
I can cook a fish.
Did anybody ever teach you to cook?
No one ever taught me to cook. The weird thing is, I actually started when we were bachelor. You need
Yes.
to figure things out, right? So I ate the same thing for a very long time: ostrich, steaks, and veg from Woolworths, because it was always just that
Wow.
all the time.
Yeah.
No, I was living
Ostrich
alone.
steaks. Bachelor. What kind of a bachelor were you?
Listen, wait, let me go. Okay, I'm telling you the end of my
You were
bachelor
eating an
career.
ostrich.
You know why?
What when you were a student? Were you
No,
eating
wait.
steaks
Okay.
and
So there were stages, when I just moved to Johannesburg, I literally had no money and I had stayed in someone's garage and with like a secret
Yeah.
entrance thing. And then I would eat a rotisserie chicken on payday, every payday, because that was my treat to myself. And then after the year, like 2 weeks in, there'd be no money. I always used to have a big box or a big bag of oats. Eating oats morning, noon and night, my friend, for 2 weeks. I was very regular, very regular. Also,
imagine.
very light. And then as you start growing in your career, the end of that back, that thing with the ostrich steaks, that was at
Oh, that's the end.
up
So
basically about
you
to be
started
married.
with the end,
Yeah,
and you worked your way back.
absolutely. So I started learning how to cook really when I got married, because I was like,
Generally, it's the opposite way around.
Stop cooking.
no, Natalie is not.
No, he-
Let me be honest with you. I am a phenomenal cook. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even.
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Top shelf.
I'm a phenomenal cook. But when I got married, my wife felt that she was lied to, because when I got married, I stopped cooking.
Stop
Yeah,
immediately.
he really did lie. I thought I was getting a new age man.
Yeah.
He succumbed to
Oh,
gender.
God, wait for that baby
Okay,
to come.
but I'm the guy that stands in the kitchen and goes, maybe just
Like
a
my
little bit
mother.
more.
Oh my
You know,
goodness,
you're
I can't handle that.
irritating, you
I
can't say
can't
anything.
deal. I can't
That
deal.
is-
Okay, but hold on. Is it not better that way?
Not always.
Is it not better that way? You so confidently said that, but I
why
would
you
be
don't
quiet.
So sometimes I cook. Once in a while I'll cook. But on the time, so sometimes my wife will be like, hey, I don't know, there's something not, it's not working. And 9 times out of 10, I heal that dish.
Okay, yes,
Salt.
I will, yeah. And he doesn't like salt. So whenever I cannot taste any salt, I think there's something wrong.
Yeah.
But he's like, it's perfect. So he ends up enjoying the food, not me.
It's not salt. She's talking. It's not the salt. It's not the spicing. Sometimes the potatoes are hard in the biryani.
You are talking. Listen, I want to leave here, and then you must still be together tomorrow. You are speaking yourself deep. I'm giving you parachutes.
All these
Get out
stories.
there.
All these
No,
stories.
it's
Let me
back
tell
in.
you, our first eat together. Very ambitious. On eat day. She decides
eat?
on
I
eat
always
day.
want to try something new when I have to impress people.
So, and we're still in lockdown, so we only had like 2 guests. And we are about 20 minutes before serving time. And Saida is in a mess. She's a complete mess. She comes, I'm like, no, go order something else. This is horrible. I'm like, come on, what's wrong? Potatoes, wow. But like not even
Did
like
you bite into it like an apple?
yeah, like it was like that hard. Like that hard. Like you could ting 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 that hard. So then I was like, okay, no, look, this is what we're gonna do. I poked holes up. We fished out all these potatoes, all these rocks from the bottom of the biryani, put them in a bowl, poke some holes, put a little bit of water, put them in the microwave, pseudo boil them, put them back in, and the day was saved.
Thanks to say.
I just want to say, I
Well
marvel.
done.
This is like me watching someone play with a cheetah. Every time I'm like this, but I just said, dug up those rocks. I'm like, this how?
doesn't care about
But you don't care about your health, eh? You can't help yourself. You can't do CPR on yourself.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
just
I
saying,
can't.
Dude, get out of there. It's very fascinating, but I'm enjoying it.
So now, how did you learn how to cook? Where did you?
No. He started cooking because I don't cook.
Yeah.
So that's where he actually started picking that up.
That is not a big
I
cook.
don't.
Oh, you don't like?
I don't cook.
She does make a nice thing here and there, but
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not shy to say it though. I'm
I'm
terrible in the
probably
kitchen.
more cooking
Terrible.
than her. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of nights where the only person eating is my son. Because he has to eat a healthy meal and it's all steamed vegetables. My father always goes, this lady eats very well. Because it's always steamed, very healthy things. But for us, like, there'll be like 2 or 3 nights where we don't go. Like, we just eat whatever's left from last night. We just go on with our night.
Hey, we must eat. That's the whole point of this
I've
thing.
been waiting. I don't want to
We
be the
must,
first guy.
We must continue chatting, but we
Yeah,
must
go
also
for it.
eat.
Cool, man.
This is dinner.
Listen, let me just put it out there, your wife. This is beautiful, eh? The setting.
so nice.
I feel like it. I feel like an
Lovely.
adult.
Thank you. Just have to make sure I also.
I feel like an adult. No, dude. I mean, like I'm 40 years old now, and I don't feel like an adult. I feel like I'm playing adult. I think my wife is an adult.
Care to explain?
Yeah, can you explain?
We're all interested now.
I play for life. My job is playing. I enjoy what I do. I make people laugh. I somehow manage to pay bills. My wife goes, Alfred, we need to send me X, Y, Z. We need to pay this. It's very adulty about life.
Okay.
Where I am going to, I'm also adult, but I'm trying to figure out where I can play a game. So it's like, I did Kimberley this weekend. Where can I go next? Because I'm chasing that feeling of having fun, because that's what I do for a living. It doesn't feel like I'm an adult.
So you feel like you're a 40-year-old child? Do you feel like you're just born?
Yeah, not just born, but I feel like I'm a teenager with a bank account.
I mean, at least you have a bank account. I was a teenager without a bank account. Oh, these crackers are
these are
phenomenal,
dope.
man.
Yeah.
What are these? Wow. This is the first time I'm having it. You see,
don't
you
know
guys
where
must
you-
come more often.
Where are you buying these things?
Of course, it's at Woolworths.
Listen, I love
Woolworths.
Woolworths. My wife made butter on marble, my boss.
Is this marble or is it granite? What is this?
Whatever it is heavy. And
We're supposed to use-
I think I'm in the wrong. I don't actually eat like butter like as a thing.
I'm surprised. You
I'm just like I feel like it.
You
means-
don't eat butter.
Yeah, he
No, I
doesn't
don't
like
go out of my
butter
way
at
for
all.
butter. Eh?
Oh, yeah, this is divine.
That thing's dumb. And this is
This
good.
is freaking.
So you grew up in Cape Town. Lived most of your life there.
Yeah, so I grew up in Atlantis, which is like an hour's drive from.
It's like north, isn't it?
By the dunes, yeah. I think I was 11 or 12. My parents got divorced and then we moved to my grandmother's house in Heideveld in Cape Town.
Okay.
25. No, 24. I moved to Melbourne for about 4.5 years.
Australia too.
And then
You moved
I
to
came
Australia.
Back.
How was that?
Yeah, it was good. It was amazing. Actually, not even good. It was amazing.
You liked it there? Was it?
Yeah, no, it was great.
Because I hear from a lot of people it's a pretty racist place to be in.
Look, I think that there's a. I don't even think it's a stigma. I think it just is that Australians they don't want the foreigners in, because they take over all the jobs and, So,
Oh, so
Yeah.
it's just like a.
Oh my goodness, that looks lovely.
There's no, it's just.
That's one
This
of
is
the.
my one.
that is
Yeah.
Lovely.
That's your lampshade.
unbelievable.
Looks great.
A nice, very sharp.
Okay, care to explain what we're about to eat?
It's not to that.
That's
How
what I
did you
call it.
prepare it? What was the sauce? What was the marinade?
The marinade was Dijon mustard, Worcester sauce, a bit of chili, garlic, onion, a bit of tomato, salt and pepper. And then I have a mint chutney.
Listen, you didn't do. I think you got married right. Eh?
Yeah.
I get
I like
told
this
that
house.
all
How
the time.
people are very new. It's a very old school, yeah. He hunts and kills. You cook.
I think that's so cool
Please
though.
dig in.
Yeah,
Please,
so,
you go first.
Oh, yeah,
just by the way, I
thank you
came
so
up with the
much.
He
marinade.
always has to throw himself in there for credit. And even look at these little.
I know.
That's dope.
So different.
You know, I haven't even seen that. This is the first time I'm seeing it.
That's from.
We are both impressed.
That's from the wedding present stuff.
That.
Aunt
It's not
is
even
gonna be
real
big.
fingers. It's just.
Your aunt is gonna be. Looks like straws that stuck together.
So when did you get married?
We got married 1 week before the lockdown, the first lockdown.
1 week before. Oh wow.
So we were,
20th and then 27th was.
yeah, 20th we got married. So the plan was we were engaged and we were planning our wedding. And then our families were like, we were hearing the news, watching the stuff. And so at that stage already the planning was becoming a nightmare anyway. And we were already like, hey, this list is getting longer.
Yeah.
So my father calls me and was literally like, listen, you guys want to live together. You can't live together. So you must get married. Just come and do it. We'll think maybe after this lockdown. Now everybody thought this lockdown would be like
Yeah.
30 days or,
Yeah.
you know, oh, don't worry, we'll do
Everybody's
something
thoughts.
later, but just get married.
Yeah.
So we both flew to Durban. Our families are both from Durban. We went to the mosque on a Friday, got married at the mosque. That's around the corner from my grandfather's house. Came back to a grandfather's house. In the garage, they just said, hey, move the cars. We're having a wedding. Sit at the trestle tables. Had a braai, literally just a braai. My mother decided she's going to make a nice, like, what do you even call that?
She took a rug and hung it as a
I actually like that. I
Yeah,
think
that's
that
cool.
sounds like a great
Yeah,
wedding.
it
I think
does.
like
Yeah.
some old
Fantastic.
school and liquor. You know what I mean?
It was just, well, we tried to, as close as possible to keep to the 50 numbers. No one was wearing masks at that time because at that time it was just wash your hands, wash your hands. They didn't care. People didn't know that it was
Yeah.
hitting you in your face. We spent the weekend at the oyster box. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Ah,
nice.
lovely.
Yeah, and because I saved so much, and,
Yeah.
and I didn't have,
Have
to
two. You
splurge.
can have two cool drinks here.
Are the potatoes soft?
Oh yeah. That's very good.
I was worried about that.
No, this is really good.
Did you taste it before you?
Yes.
So, okay, good.
You have potato trauma. This is
I'm
great.
glad. Because the last time, sure, we were making phone calls to everyone's granny. Everyone's granny got a phone call. We don't know how this thing is tasting too meaty. What must we do?
By the way, how does your family deal with all the popularity, the cameras, the fact that you're a doctor and now you're a comic? Is there people that love it, or is it like, as I mean, you are a doctor, my bro.
I would say there was definite objections, but very much more, not like just, no, I disapprove of it. It was very much more like, okay.
Are you sure?
Are you sure? You know, how are you going to sustain a family? You know, there's no stability in the career. So it's like very, you know, specific questions about it. Not, oh, I just don't approve of this. How dare you
okay.
don't do it, kind of thing. My mom and my mom's side of the family were always like, yeah, you know, it's fine
not-
that you want to do this thing, but still don't
Just-
give up the day job.
I was in marketing and I had a great job. I had the same sort of scenario where my father was just always going, listen, you must remember your stability and all this. Until I started making more money from that than being the marketing manager for Africa and the Middle East, right? And then now, because his audience is coming, I mean, there's not even a thought. I think everyone, including myself, is surprised that it's gotten this far. But in the beginning, me and Natalie moved in 1 week later. I told her, listen, I'm leaving my job.
And how was that for you?
Looking at like the way he worked and going to gigs almost every single night just to like try new material and see how things like. I mean, that already on one showed me that this is what he wants to do.
Is he funny at home?
But you both.
I get asked that question all the time.
I get asked a question every single time. Listen, it's a weird question because I don't really find a lot of people funny.
Think back to the first time you ever saw him perform.
No, I thought he was good. And I was like, thank goodness. I'm
So, yeah,
dating
you
this
just
guy. I'm
How many
dating this
dates
guy.
before the first time?
Oh, quick.
Yeah, I think
Like a
we
week
went.
or two.
Yeah, I
Like
think
a
a
week.
week or two.
The day I went to meet her father, it was to tell him that we're going to get married, not ask him. Like to inform him we're getting married today.
Just as a formality.
Like
It was
not
the first time that he met him, and then at the same time,
we're getting
Oh, but he
married.
didn't know.
That's
Did he
not
know
right.
that was the meeting? That was
No.
happening.
no.
Well, his neighbor knew. His neighbor said, "I'm in from Roman." And how? But how do you think that when you've never met the boy and you're the girl's father? But also you were a grown up at the time.
And I lived in Joburg, and my dad was in Cape Town, and I never really.
I
went
met
down
the mom knew who I was, but I never got a chance to meet dad. So now we gotta go. Imagine he goes, "Yeah, don't have my blessing." I'm like, oh, this is a tough one. I'm gonna go, Natalie. I'll see you outside. Just smooth it over.
You want to talk
And
to
funny
dad?
enough, we
Wait, so you
got
just
along.
sprung it on him? You didn't tell him?
No.
He made us food.
Look,
We sat at
obviously,
the
like
table, we
I
him.
told him that.
You went to his
Alfred was
house
in
to
the
tell him?
picture.
Not even like a public. I would have at least
No,
invited the
we
guy
went
to
to
us.
his
In
house.
the
or
same
something.
place where he keeps his gun.
Yeah.
And he's not apparently he's not an easy character. But from day one we got along like I was on fire. We
Yeah.
never-
Okay.
Apparently all our other boyfriends, old man didn't like. The man had taste.
That's just like me and her father.
Yeah, my father saw doctor.
Yeah, actually,
we
your
must-
father. If I wasn't a doctor, it
Yeah.
would have been.
What comedian? Ha, you are making jokes.
What do you think this is funny?
Because he's a doctor. And my father phones him to tell him about some problem in his body.
Every time.
But my father also has the cure. He has the sickness and the cure.
You called me to tell me. You called me to tell me, hey, my toe is paining. Oh, okay. How long? No, but don't worry. I sort it out. Don't worry. What you tell me? Huh? You give me the long answer. You know, this toe has been troubling for years, and then this corn is now becoming a little bit looking funny. You're diabetic? No. It's looking funny. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I think you should. No, don't worry. Drink 2 aspirin, Mrs. Ball's chutney, and a scone. I'm alright.
That is hilarious.
I think you touched on it in your show about your grandmother's crazy remedies for everything.
No, my granny. Yeah, no, it's just like it's sort of like it's part of where I grew up. Farm people is less resources, so people have to be a little bit more resourceful. So over-the-counter medicines and remedies are a big thing, and they last forever because people generally don't have money to go and fix the problem. And you're like, that's the issue. Like if you think in an area where people are earning 1,800 rand a month, going to the doctor is 650 rand. You're not going. You know, you're gonna go, how about we boil this piece of grass, drink it, and then maybe that works. That is
Parliaments work for everything.
Parliaments for sterkdruppels, all these cheap remedies.
Can you tell us exactly what's in those? You mentioned a few. I've heard the terms before.
So like there's something like Villa als. It's actually like, it's a Villa als
It's a
boom. It's like a
tree,
tree.
yeah.
They just take the leaves and they boil it in a specific way
Yeah.
and then they put
They
it in
drink
bottles,
it.
cool it down
Yeah.
and you drink it.
And what's it meant to heal?
It's meant to
To
fucking
heal
be a wonder
everything.
cure.
Oh, that
It's
wonder
meant to heal
cure.
everything. I have one in my
But
garden.
my mother-in-law always teasing her because she's always got some remedy. Like it's always like something. I go, how about a Western doctor? I want the pills they give the rats in Mexico, the stuff they're tasting that makes cats glow in the dark. I want medicine. But my gran used to have a remedy for everything, my friend. Everything.
What's the craziest one that she's ever given you?
The craziest
didn't
one is
make-
not
which
one I
didn't
want to
make
say at the
sense.
table. If you guys,
No, I'm ready. Don't worry. I'm almost done.
it's not that bad. My cousin used to like to bite me. He was a biter. And this is And then she said,
This is disgusting.
you
Like
know,
just bite people.
bite me. Like you like to
Bite
me and him are playing and then he'd just bite me. He's a biter.
Uh-huh.
Then I'd go and complain. And then one day my granny says, bring him here. Then he comes and I'm like, yeah, today he's going to get a beating. I wanted him to suffer. You know what I mean? So she says to me in front of him, she says, listen, the only way to remedy this is that if you rub fresh bird shit on that bark where he bit, his teeth will fall out. My cousin starts crying immediately. No, don't do it. This gave me a great joy. I wanted to find the freshest dung I could get. And then I was bit and rubbing feces into the bite. I lost twice. That was a remedy for teeth biting. Which is really not a remedy, it's more of
A deterrent.
a deterrent. But the remedy, dude, I don't know what it is with these people. Why do we always, and this is going south now, but why do we always have to have some sort of a laxative over the festive season? I don't know. Why? I go, I'm okay. My body knows what it's doing. Every year, my granny.
We'll
she'd
give you a
sneak-
laxative.
Yeah, she'd sneak it into your food, dude.
Like
Oh my
before.
God, so the whole family is using the
The
toilet.
three of us, me and my two cousins.
Wait, hold on.
Yes,
so
but
your
honest.
granny, like
Ah.
before Christmas.
Dude, just before Christmas, as we
Also, everyone must
as
be
we enter
fresh.
the season, we unload the past.
Wow.
And I don't know what that was. Because there is no good reason to give children laxatives. Why?
A child.
A child! What did I do wrong? My cousin reacted so badly. It was bad. You know when guys are throwing their underwear in the bin? That's not
No, man!
This is very not done at a table
This
talk.
is terrible.
But I'm just saying it. Even like this, my grand would go, oh, pimples. You know what you need, right? Laxation.
How? What did you think was going to happen?
Your system is dirty.
You flush it out.
That's it. That's terrible.
Wow, flushing out the pimples. You
Yeah.
know, Durban Beachfront, because of the floods
Yeah.
and stuff, sewage pipes burst. They
Oh.
leaked into the ocean. She
Swap.
was influencer. Had to go do a morning beach shoot at the beach. And I was like, yeah, but just be careful, because you know.
Were you
No, I'm
full
not gonna-
makeup?
Yeah, full makeup.
Full makeup.
Everything. I didn't go underwater. I just dipped my legs.
No, that's
But my
influencer
hands were
lifestyles.
Touching the rocks.
Touching the rocks. and that's where I'm sure.
And then
Word.
That was Thursday. Friday night is my show. Whilst my show is on.
Disappearing.
And you know, the thing is, here's the stage. I explained to you the stage, the two people, the two sets of people on either side, and the people in front. Behind is a toilet. I heard you. I heard
Losing
the
our
flushing.
lungs.
Oh my gosh, really, man.
While I'm on stage, I'm like, who's dying in here?
Oh, shit, it's my wife.
That is
Then at the end of the show, now we were supposed to take pictures of the crowd and stuff, and we're trying to move the banner. I'm like, where is this woman? Where is my wife? Eventually, after a good 10 minutes, people are in between people taking pictures. She just gaps in there. Hey, listen, I'm just vomiting. I'm vomiting and vomiting. I'm like, yeah, can we talk about this? Immediately, as soon as everyone dispersed and the crowd left, I was like, listen, we need to get you antibiotics now.
Yeah.
You definitely have E. coli.
It's very handy to be having as a doctor. At least you don't have to go
Yeah.
to a doctor.
true. But I must
But then
be
also
honest,
sometimes-
there's no sympathy. I don't think he's ever really taken care of me. It's always like, take this pill and go sleep. That night,
No, but come on.
take this pill. I'm going to have fun with my dog.
I told you in, man.
You know what? What pill was it? He gave you a laxative, eh? Yes, a That's terrible.
I gave her something for the nausea. I gave her something for the cramps.
Tuck me in
And I
and
said,
said,
right.
okay, you sleep. I'm going to have fun.
Yeah.
That were his words.
That's hectic.
At least I tucked her in. I tucked her in. Went to
I
sleep.
leave my wife.
Okay, but that's not the worst. I'll tell you the worst. The worst was when we went to Namibia. In Namibia, we went to Swakopmund by the desert. And this was like actually technically our first honeymoon because we had planned to go, but you know, lockdowns. So in Jan this year, we went to Namibia. We go on the dunes, we go dune biking, and this woman decides when we're going downhill, the instructor tells us, when I accelerate, I'm gonna do this, and you must also accelerate.
For today, you ready to drag?
For whatever reason, we're going down
Oh.
a steep dune.
Flip.
She doesn't accelerate.
I was scared.
She doesn't accelerate because she was scared. But now what happens when you don't accelerate is the thing just starts drifting.
Oh God.
So it started drifting. And I'm watching her because I'm behind her. And I just see her drift like this. And I'm coming right behind. I'm like, oh no.
And it's sad.
She just, I saw her tap the brakes, goof.
Oh
That
my
thing
goodness.
slipped. I
dangerous.
like,
Yeah.
I try to steer this way and jump off the thing because it was going to hit into her. The thing hit her quad bike. Her quad bike had already spun. It was on top of her.
Yo, people have died like that.
Thankfully, it was soft sand and I sunk.
And she just sunk, but she sunk under the sand. Now I was scared. I pulled my bike aside. I lifted this one up, tried to drag her, scoop sand off.
Oh my
The
gosh,
other
that
guy,
was so
our
dangerous.
instructor came. He pulled all
Sand
the
off.
sand off. We pulled out. There was sand everywhere, all in her clothes, eyes, bra was full of sand everywhere.
I don't know. My eyes closed. All I know is I was like, oh shit, this is not going well. I was going down the dune. I knew it wasn't going well, and then I found myself on the ground. Something.
So she's like, no, I can't walk. And I'm like, oh God. Eventually, she got up. She started moving. I'm like, okay, you think you can finish this thing? Eventually, we finish. We come back. I'm like, okay, where is it paining? Salmon a bit. Like, oh, okay. Let's just go to the chemist.
No, wait.
I'll go, wait, hold on.
We go to the chemist. We're in the middle of the desert, and he says, actually, he left to sandboard.
Not same day.
Priorities.
So, man, slide in the deer.
Yeah, no, he examines everything. Okay, I just want to do this. First, you want to come along? Then we go. So I said, okay, fine.
She was still walking, man. She was walking.
You can walk.
You can feel your toes?
Oh yeah. We did the sandboarding, and then at the end, I take her to the chemist. I get her an injection. No, did I get you the injection? No, I just got her tablets, special tablets, muscle relaxers and stuff. Then when we get back to the hotel and I properly examine her, I'm like, Ish. I didn't tell her this. I'm like, Ish, this woman's rib is broken.
Oh my gosh.
Whole holiday with a broken rib.
Now, but hear me out here. I was like, I know that there's no treatment for broken rib.
There's nothing you can do.
There's nothing you can do. There's no operation to plate it. It'll stick back together, and it'll
Eventually.
after.
So
a
you
couple
broke
of-
a rib.
I felt it. I'm 100% sure this is broken.
Oh
I'm like,
my gosh.
my medical aid doesn't cover X-rays here. If I tell this woman, she's gonna say, "Let's go get X-rays," but I already know. So we're gonna pay.
There's no treatment.
There's no treatment. There's nothing. So why must I freak this woman out? She's not gonna know. She's gonna have a good time, and she's gonna be fine.
And in my mind, I didn't know what it was, and I was dying of pain. But I wanted to be strong because I said, I don't want him to go to the hospital and he has to pay a hospital bill. Just suck it up, Zara, you go back home. And
So she was in pain. So we got all the painkillers, got
my
everything.
You are making a very. This is a. You see how lucky you are.
Yeah, you would have told me like from the get-go.
So anyway, I was like, right, I know what the problem. So I just told her, no, don't worry, just take the painkillers, you'll be fine. When we got back to South Africa, I was like, hey, your rib was broken. I think it's finished.
Need to go to the doctor. Maybe you got internal bleeding by now.
he still didn't take me for an X-ray. He said, you're fine now, it's been a few weeks. Okay.
I always told you, I offered
Oh
the hospital I
my
work
gosh.
at will do it anytime she can come. What's the point now? The thing is healed. Your rib is fully healed now.
Yeah, now it's fine.
There's no
I
treatment.
couldn't get off the bed, I had to slide off the bed, you get on the floor.
I still helped you out the bed.
Yeah,
So
sometimes.
I did my job. My duty was done. I was a good doctor and saved money.
This bra. This is astonishing. I'm like in the Twilight Zone. If I did that, you'd lose it.
I would so lose it.
And I took this out, like, you are lucky, bruh. This is my takeaway. This bra's lucky. This bra's been flirting with the devil the whole night. Not a spoon in his throat, nothing. He said,
Don't worry,
"No,
all these
left, the ribs were
cameras are-"
broken. Ribs are broken. All the potatoes were rock hard. Stones. I was like, yay. I was like, when is the bleeding coming? You got married to a saint.
Yeah.
It's nice that things have come together so organically for you guys. Because I remember Suhayl saying, what do you think about these vlogging things? And I was like, bruh, pick up a camera, let's go. And to be honest, I gave that advice to a lot of people.
It's not for everyone.
It's not for everyone. And even for the ones, and we know people that have tried, I don't think few have been as successful as you guys have been. And I think that organicness, I like that. And that's from what you're saying. You don't necessarily want to be in everything, but you are supporting this thing and you can see it.
Yeah.
That thing's dipped in chocolate.
So the whole concept behind this basically stems from the reason why I feel like I started comedy. Because people always, in the interviews, they're always going to ask you that question, why, when did you know? Truly, I feel like my love for comedy came from the dinner table. We'd sit, we'd have a family meal. My grandmother would roast me while we eat her roast. My brother would chime in. And that's where I really found this love of comedy, of making people laugh and also enjoying a good meal. And so doing this with people that I not only am friends with and I know I can have good conversation with, but that I genuinely truly look up to and admire and take advice from, and I know that this conversation, it was interesting for me, and I'm sure there's plenty of people that are going to watch this and go, great, I learned so much. I didn't just sit at a table with these guys and have a laugh or whatever. I actually learned something. So good food, good friends, good family, good laughter. That's what it's all about. And that's another episode of Dinner with Suhayl.
Hey, come on man, subscribe. Then share the video and click like. You know you want to. New videos dropping weekly.